Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cafe Euro 2020. I'm joined here by Adi Aluwalia, sports entrepreneur as well as presenter for Cricket Wiki's Cafe IPL. Last night, we got to witness some amazing football. Spain versus Switzerland is the second match in the Euro that went to a penalty shootout, and Spain were victorious. Spain won the fight, but Switzerland certainly won the night with that amazing performance. Again, with the man down, with 10 players, the way they defended against Spain was wonderful, and it's really heartbreaking to see them out of the tournament. And for the second encounter of the day, Italy beat the Red Devils 2-1. Wonderful football from both sides, and Italy was simply the better side that night. But today, ladies and gentlemen, at 9:30, Czech Republic will take on Denmark in Azerbaijan. Now, I know you guys may just sleep on this match, be like, oh, England is playing later. Why will I watch this? No, no, no. This is the Dark Horses versus the Great Danes. And Aditya and I are very confident that this may be the most thrilling encounter we will witness in the Euro 2020 so far. Both these teams have an underdog status. Both of them are really hungry. Both of them play amazing football. Denmark coming in hot into this game after beating Wales 4-0, and Czech coming in hot after beating Holland 2-0. So this is going to be one cracking encounter, and I expect this to be a really high-scoring one. I'm saying 4-3, 3-2. It may even go to extra time. This game is going to be amazing, and I can't wait to discuss it. So, Addy, let's discuss the formations of these two squads. Denmark goes for a 3-4-2-1, and Czech plays a 4-1-4-1. These are
Yes.
two very interesting formations. You know why? Because both these teams are sort of building an ecosystem, sort of a support system for their two stars. Denmark, Dolberg, and Czech Republic, Patrick Schick. Both of these guys have amazing goal scoring ability, and we've seen that in the Euro so far. So, Addy, who are you gonna be? Who will you look out for tonight, Dolberg or Patrick Schick?
Soros, I think that you will ideally every viewer will be looking out for both of them, both of the players. Patrick Schick, obviously 4 goals, and Dolberg, great heroics last game against the Dutch. And yeah, as you pointed out, Czech Republic actually tried a new formation last game. The previous 3 group stages, they played 4-2-3-1, और राउंड ऑफ 16 हमने देखा कि 4-1-4-1 फॉर्मेशन किया था चेक ने अगेंस्ट द Dutch side, and in all likelihood they will stick to their 4-1-4-1. And speaking of Denmark's formation, Rosh, you mentioned that they played the 3-4-2-1, and you predicted that this will be a high scoring game, and it could be because the Danish side this year have been a very attacking side. They actually created a history by scoring back-to-back 4 goals in the European Championship. Obviously, Spain had done that with 5 goals and toppled their record, but they have been playing really good football. They will be coming in very confident after that 4-0 triumph over Wales. And interestingly enough, the Danish side, they have so they are averaging 18.8 shots per match and 7.3 shots on target in the Euro 2020 so far. So yes, a very attacking side, and obviously Patrick Schick, his goal against Scotland will go down to be probably the best goal of this tournament. And the kind of form that he's in already, I think bagged about 4 goals in the tournament so far. He will be a contender for the Golden Boot, provided that Czech Republic do somehow progress to the finals of this tournament. But either way, both of these strikers have had amazing contributions for their country, and have played amazingly well for both the sides this year.
Wonderful. So you did mention that Denmark have been playing amazing football, scoring a lot of goals, 4-0 against Wales, and they were just behind Spain in setting a world record. This does mean that Denmark has amazing goal scoring potential. So what does Jaroslav's side need to do to, reduce them a bit?
To reduce the Danish, yes, I think they will be looking to also side by side strengthen their midfield and attacking the Czech Republic team. I was looking actually at the Czechs records against the Danish, and I would give the Czech Republic side a bit of an edge, because in the previous two encounters that Czech Republic and Denmark have had in the Euros, Czech Republic have come out on top. Czech Republic have lost only two of their last 25 matches against Denmark. So historically, they do have the edge over Denmark. And yeah, I think that Czech just needs to continue doing what they're doing, press forward, attack, place onus on Sheikh. The entire team is playing pretty good. And good news for them is that Jan Borrell will be available for this game. We can see Thomas Soucek and Holes, who actually scored the first goal against the Netherlands, to start the game today. So they control the entire playmaking, the midfield, the attack, as a little bit of the defense as well. So yes, I think that they really have to pull together as a unit. And personally, I feel that Czech Republic has had a pretty good run this year in the Euros. They obviously beat the Danish 2-0. They narrowly lost out to England 1-0, and England are really a force to be reckoned with this year. They drew to Croatia, which is also a very impressive side, and they triumphed over Scotland 2-0. So even their performance in the Euros have surpassed all expectations. And yeah, I really look forward to seeing this encounter today.
Me too. And let me remind the viewers at home that Czech Republic is a wonderful footballing side. They're a great nation when it comes to history, and I'm just really pleased to see them playing in their old forms like they did in the 80s and in the 90s. So it's wonderful to see them play. I cannot wait for this encounter. Before we move on to the next game, Addy, any first blood predictions for this match?
So I think that. So personally, I think that Denmark will strike first blood. Although I expect this game to be a tight one. Whoever wins will probably win at max by a one-goal margin or take it in penalties. I think it'll be a very tight game. But I'm going to give the first blood prediction to Denmark, simply because the last two games they've played very aggressive football. Their last group stage match they won 4-1, and the round of 16 obviously they won 4-0. So 8 goals in 2 games. Sorry, for the Danish side. So we saw the trio of Braithwaite, Damsgaard, and Dolberg do very well. And as a 3 goals in their last game came from this trio. So I'm going to place my first prediction with probably Braithwaite for this game.
Interesting choice. I'm personally going to stick with Patrick Schick, a player I've been backing a lot in these shows, and I just want to see him open up the goal scoring with hopefully another glamorous goal like he did against Scotland. All right, now moving our focus from the game in Azerbaijan, traveling to Italy, Rome, England will take on Ukraine. And now this game is going to be one cracker for boss man Southgate. A little interesting piece of trivia for you all. Last time, England encountered Ukraine in Euro 2000, almost 21 years ago. That's when Gareth Southgate was in the squad for England, and England triumphed over a very dangerous Ukraine side. And so he must be very confident going into this game, because this is a nation he has personally beat, and now his team is going up against them. And he has a lot of reasons to be confident. He has a lot of reasons to be happy for this game, because after beating a team like Germany 2-0, Ukraine won't seem like much of a challenge. And the whole internet is chanting, football is coming home, it's coming home. But Addy, tell the viewers at home what football legend Shevchenko has in mind to make sure football is not coming home.
Yeah, so before we move on to that, Rush, I'll just point out that you mentioned that Southgate played in the 2000 match on 31st May 2000 against Ukraine. And interestingly enough, even Ukraine's current manager and probably their best legend ever, Shevchenko, also was part of that Ukraine squad. So 21 years ago they met on the pitch. Now they meet on the sideline. So yes, it's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
And speaking of Ukraine, I would say that they have had a decent run in the Euros. Not too great. Obviously, they lost narrowly to Netherlands 3-2. They lost narrowly to Austria 1-0. They're both good sides, but they edged over Macedonia. And interestingly enough, Ukraine were playing a 4-3-3 for their group stages. However, in the round of 16, they completely switched up. They went with a 3-5-2, and it seemed to work against them as they edged over a Swedish team that looks pretty strong. I think the Swedes were the toppers in their group and a pretty good team. I would any football fan or anyone who was following the Euros would have given Sweden the definite advantage, but Ukraine were able to edge over them. I would say Sweden is a team that could give tough competitions to any of the top 4 5 teams. So it's a really big success for Ukraine to even edge over Sweden and make their first ever quarterfinals in the champions in the Euro Championship. So whether they win or lose, I think that the squad will go up with their held up with their heads up high. So interestingly enough, the last game that they played against Sweden, they had dominated the Sweden in all regards of the game, whether it's shots on targets. They held more possessions, they made more passes, and they also had a better pass accuracy than the Sweden. So it's safe to say that they had well and truly, deservedly won that game against Sweden. And I think that I think they'll stick with the same formation, maybe, or maybe you never know. They might go for something a little more defensive to, go goalless draw against England and then try to win on penalties or something like that. But still, their key to success, their key to victory lies with their two forwards, Yarmolenko and Yarmolenko. In the four goals that Ukraine had scored in the group stages, when they had scored only 4 goals in 3 matches in the group stages, and all four of these goals came from Yarmolenko and Yarmolenko. Although they were not involved in the goal scoring in the round of 16, they have been in eccentric form for Ukraine. They have scored, I think, in the last 4 or 5 matches that Ukraine has had even before the Euro. So they're looking in red hot form for Ukraine. And I think that another player who is a little key for Ukraine would be Alexander Zinchenko, as he has played for Man City for the last 5 years. He has a lot of experience of how the English play football, because I think barring Kieran Trippier and what's his name? Sorry. Jadon Sancho, every other member of the English squad plays in the English Premier League. So Zinchenko will be familiarized with the play style of his colleague Raheem Sterling, as well as Harry Kane and many more people in the English squad. So along with Yarmolenko and Yarmolenko, we will see Zinchenko also probably have a key role in this match, as he has played the last 5 years in the Premier League. And yeah, I think that the key to victory starts with these three guys from Ukraine.
Mm. Wonderful. I really like your one input where you said Ukraine should try to push it to a goalless draw. Now that's a very interesting strategy, because if we take it to penalties, it's anyone's game. And if you see if England have such good form, maybe
Mm,
you may think that's the only way to beat them. And
mm,
I know there's a lot of talk around players like Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane for England, the goal scorers. But I think that Pinkford, the English keeper, he's not getting enough recognition, because he's done 3 clean sheets and he's been an absolute wall, not letting any goals behind the net. So if they're going to want to take it to penalties, then they have to play against Pinkford, which won't be easy for Ukraine. So I feel if Ukraine need to win, they need to play fundamental football. They need to outclass England, because unfortunately, on paper, England is far superior. So we've seen underdog victories. Dreams do come true, just like the poster behind you. And
mm, mm.
it could be anybody's game. This one, England versus Ukraine, and I'm really excited for it. So, do you have any first blood predictions for this one?
Yeah, it was just before I go on to the first blood predictions, I thought that I would share some statistics with our viewers regarding the team
Please do.
news from England's point of view. And actually, Jordan Pickford has 4 clean sheets this tournament. England are yet to even concede a goal. So Mason Mount, Chelsea's playmaker, and Chilwell have completed their isolation, but are still doubtful to start. As you know, Luke Shaw has really been in form. We saw the English side change to a three-back formation against Germany, and that actually turned out pretty well. England, personally, I feel, have been very rock solid defensively. They played 7 defensive-minded players last game. They're expected to, have a similar formation and a similar starting lineup. However, there can be a few changes as we saw both Declan Rice as well as Calvin Phillips pick up bookings last game. So, in all likelihood, we may see Jordan Henderson start the match today in place of one of these guys. And obviously, Saka, who is in the front three along with Sterling and Kane, he has some concerns. So, we can probably see Mason Mount, the playmaker from Chelsea, come in for Saka ahead of this England game. And before I tell the first blood, I also wanted to say that if it goes to penalties, it can be anyone's game. We saw that despite the fact that Switzerland had an extraordinary penalty shootout against France, scoring all 5 of their goals, they scored only 1 penalty yesterday and lost 1-3 to Spain. I think they scored 1 out of 4 penalties. So it can be anyone's game. And speaking historically, actually, just a few stats for our viewers. Ukraine have had only one previous penalty shootout in a competitive tournament, and they won that penalty shootout 3-0 against Switzerland into the 2006 FIFA World Cup. And England has 9 penalty shootouts in major tournaments. Out of that, they have won 3 and lost 6. So historically, they have won only 33% of their penalty shootouts. So even if the game does go to penalty shootouts, history does not favor England that much, as they have lost far more than they have won in penalty shootouts. So, I personally I would give Ukraine the edge if it goes to penalty shootout, just on a historical basis, because England have not do not have a great record when it comes to penalty shootouts. As far as the first blood prediction is concerned, I'm going to go a little. It's safe to say that England have probably more than an 80% chance of winning this game, and along those lines, I am going to give the first blood prediction to England, and I'm going to go for Harry Kane. He a lot of confidence coming in. He opened his tally in the Euro 2020 last game. Raheem Sterling is also a contender, but personally, I feel that Harry Kane might bag the first goal in today's game.
Safe choice. Captain Kane did score a stunner
Mhm.
against the German side. Uh, Addy, however, I'm going to go with Zinchenko from Ukraine. As you
Okay.
mentioned, he plays most of his football in England, so it'll be wonderful to see him play against some familiar faces. And who knows, he could be Ukraine's Trojan horse for this game. He could be the key to victory. But anyways, that's all we have planned for today. And to the viewers at home, please, in the comments, do let us know your first blood predictions too. Addy and I are eager to hear them. We want to also tell us what do you think Ukraine need to do to beat England, because this is one cracking encounter, and we want to hear your thoughts. Anyways, thanks for the continued support. We will be back to cover the quarterfinals, and there's a lot of football left for us to cover. Thank you for watching. Thanks for taking part, Aditya.
Thank you.